At Sierra, discover top workout gear at incredible prices, which might lead to another discovery. Your headphones haven't been connected this whole time. Awkward. Discover top brands at unexpectedly low prices. Sierra, let's get moving.
When did making plans get this complicated? It's time to streamline with WhatsApp, the secure messaging app that brings the whole group together. Use polls to settle dinner plans. Send event invites and pin messages so no one forgets Mom's 60th. And never miss a meme or milestone. All protected with end-to-end encryption. It's time for WhatsApp. Message privately with everyone. Learn more at whatsapp.com.
It's another Q&A edition of Optimal Health Daily, and I'm Dr. Neal Malik. Hey there, a very happy Friday to you. Welcome to another Q&A edition of Optimal Health Daily, where I answer your health questions related to fitness, diet and nutrition, and lots more. You send me the questions, and I answer them for you. So with that, let's hear today's question as we optimize your life.
Hi, my name is Anna, and the question that I had is, what foods, diets, and exercises would you recommend for controlling high blood pressure? It's genetic. I've had it since way early on, and I want to pin down exactly how to control it best. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your question, Anna. I want to quickly mention that your question is actually relevant to everyone, no matter how old you are or how healthy you are. This is because as we age, our blood pressure tends to increase. It's just part of aging. Now, there are a number of reasons why this happens. As you mentioned, Anna, it could be genetic. But for others, we tend to become more sedentary as we get older. Our diets aren't as varied. We are often heavier. Stress levels may go up. All of these things can increase blood pressure. But let's say someone is superhuman and does everything right. They stay trim, they exercise regularly, they continue to eat nutritious and balanced meals, and so on. Even under these optimal conditions, their blood pressure will likely still go up as they get older. This is because as we age, our arteries, those oh so important blood vessels that carry oxygen and nutrients to all of our organs, just don't function as well as they should. Arteries should normally be smooth and clean on the inside to allow blood to flow easily through. And at the same time, they should be elastic, meaning when blood is rushing through them, this puts a bit of pressure on the inside of the artery, forcing it to expand and bulge out. But arteries are built to handle this. They should be able to snap back under this kind of pressure, kind of like a brand new rubber band. But as we age, just like an old rubber band, the arteries lose some of that elasticity. The lining also becomes damaged and starts to develop that nasty plaque, which makes it more difficult for blood to flow through them. All of this means that the heart has to send more blood with more force with each beat. As a result, our blood pressure goes up. So how do you know whether you actually have high blood pressure? The American Heart Association says you have high blood pressure, sometimes called hypertension, same thing, when either of the following conditions are met. 1, the quote-unquote top number, your systolic blood pressure, is greater than or equal to 140. And or, number 2, the bottom number, your diastolic blood pressure, is greater than or equal to 90. Basically, this means when you get your blood pressure read at the doctor's office, the first number they say to you should be less than 140. The second number should be less than 90. So let's say the last time you were at the doctor's office, your blood pressure reading was 138/90. The first number, 138, is high, but it's still less than 140. So far so good. The second number was 90. If the second number is greater than or equal to 90, then this means you would have high blood pressure. So in this case, we would say it's possible you have high blood pressure or hypertension. But I need to also mention that when you go to the doctor's office, the blood pressure reading they give you may be inaccurate. This is because many of us get nervous when we're at the doctor's office. And when we're nervous, guess what happens to our blood pressure? It goes up. Or maybe we're there because we're sick. This can also increase your blood pressure. So it's always important to try and get an accurate reading whenever possible. The best time and best place to do this would be right after you wake up in the morning, before you get out of bed. And ideally, you would want to get at least 3 more readings on different days to be sure that it's accurate. All right, let's assume this protocol was followed and the blood pressure reading you got was still high. Besides going on blood pressure lowering medications, what can you do? Here are my suggestions. Tip number 1, think about changing your exercise routine. Check with your doctor first, but try and incorporate some high-intensity interval training, or HIIT, abbreviated HIIT. We're learning that this type of exercise is relatively safe and can dramatically improve heart health and possibly lower blood pressure. At the very least, mix up your routine. If you normally jog, try sprinting for a bit. If you lift weights, take a shorter rest period between sets. With regards to weight training specifically, it's not ideal to lift heavy when you have high blood pressure, especially when you're just starting out. So it'd be better to start with lighter weights and aim for more repetitions per set. But no matter what, if you stay consistent with your exercise routine, chances are your blood pressure will drop. Tip number 2. Now you've heard me say this before, but think about lowering your intakes of salt or sodium, same thing. You might be thinking, wait, wasn't salt and blood pressure just a myth? No. What we're learning is that some individuals are salt or sodium sensitive, meaning they do experience an increase in blood pressure when they consume salt. Now, this doesn't happen to everyone, which is part of the reason why we see conflicting evidence with some of the research findings. How do you know if you're salt sensitive? You really don't know unless you and your doctor test for it specifically, which can be challenging. So that's why we recommend that everyone consider reducing their salt intakes just to be safe. And you don't have to completely get rid of salt in your diet. Even a slight decrease can have an effect on your blood pressure. Tip number 3, increase your consumption of potassium-rich foods. Potassium is kind of amazing in that it can help offset the damage from consuming too much salt. So if you tend to eat a lot of salty foods, it may help to consume those foods that are rich in potassium to counterbalance that. Now, if someone has a pre-existing health condition like kidney disease or a history of heart attack or stroke, you have to be careful here. Too much potassium can be a problem, but for most everyone else, consuming potassium-rich foods can be very helpful. These foods include leafy green vegetables like spinach and broccoli, tomatoes, sweet potatoes, cantaloupe, bananas, citrus fruits, nuts, and even animal products like salmon. These are all good sources. And the added benefit, of course, is that most of these foods are high in other nutrients too. And lastly, tip number 4, consider losing weight. Now, without knowing your weight, Anna, I can't say whether your body weight is appropriate, but even a small drop in body weight, like 5 or 10 pounds, can be enough to help drop your blood pressure by a few points. If you're already underweight or at a normal weight, don't stress about this one. All right, I hope you feel empowered. If this seems like too much, if it's overwhelming for you, remember that even if you incorporate just one of the tips I mentioned and you do it consistently, it will make a difference.
Rinse takes your laundry and hand delivers it to your door, expertly cleaned and folded, so you could take the time once spent folding and sorting and waiting to finally pursue a whole new version of you. Like Tea Time You. Or this Tea Time You. Or even this Tea Time You.
So did you hear about Dave?
Or even Tea Time You.
So update on Dave.
It's up to you. We'll take the laundry. Rinse. It's time to be great.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. When it comes to hiring, Indeed is all you need. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. Indeed Sponsored Jobs helps you stand out and hire fast. With Sponsored Jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. When I was looking to hire, it was so slow and overwhelming. I wish I had used Indeed. There's no need to wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/health. Just go to Indeed.com/health right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/health. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need. Thank you again for your question, Anna. Now, if you want to get your hands on our Optimal Living Daily Workbook and have your question answered right here on the show, send one in. You can email your question to health@oldpodcast.com. Now, if you want to send one in via audio, just come by oldpodcast.com/ask to record your question straight from your computer. Or you can do it the old-fashioned way and call in your question. The number is country code 161 I love OHD. That's 1-614-568-3643. And that'll do it for another Q&A edition of Optimal Health Daily. Thank you so much for listening every day and all the way through. I hope you have a great start to your weekend, and I'll see you back here tomorrow where your optimal life awaits.